Act 1. New Orleans, joie de vivre. Scene 6. 8 words. Cast of characters. Elizabeth Anderson, 50s, educated, stylish, confident, played by B.J. Stokey. Sherwood Anderson, 60s, self-obsessed, a bore, played by Richie Kotwika. Bill Spratling, 40s, relaxed, genial, silver artist, played by Peter Schuyler. William Faulkner, 50s, Mississippi native, writer, played by Vosh Bodie. Scene, Miss Elizabeth's parlor. Time, the present. The image of a bookcase fills the scrim. Center are 2 matching wingback chairs. Between them, a small table with a lamp and cordial glass of absinthe. One chair is stacked with books and newspapers. Down left is a bar cart with the usual findings, including a bottle of absinthe, brandy, highball, and cordial glasses. Elizabeth, sitting in a chair, is dressed casually in trousers, turtleneck duster vest, and a large Mexican-style silver bracelet. Wearing glasses, she is reading Dark Laughter by Sherwood Anderson, sipping her drink.
Oh, I thought I was alone, although I am glad you're visiting. I'm rereading Sherwood Anderson's only bestseller, Dark Laughter, the title I gave him. It's about a man who is tired of his life and marriage, and to relieve his ennui, he seeks out an affair with a married woman whom he impregnates. It doesn't end happily for the husband. Isn't it funny how some writers describe themselves quite poorly, and yet in their prose unveil their true selves? I'm Elizabeth Prawl Anderson. Miss Elizabeth, thanks to my friend William Faulkner, whom I hired away from a dishwashing job to sell books at Doubleday in Manhattan. On his first day of work, he began calling me Miss Elizabeth, and the sobriquet stuck. At a party in the village, it was 1922, he introduced me to Sherwood. He was just finishing his book, Many Marriages. I sometimes wonder if that was prophetic. In April of 24, I became the 3rd Mrs. Sherwood Anderson, and we moved to the French Quarter in New Orleans. Our house on Peters Street was lovely with a gallery and sunlit patio. That was a magical time.
She rifles through books on the other chair. Picking one, sits and flips through it.
Let's see. Here it is. My friend Ham Basso wrote, "If I never much hankered after Paris during the expatriate years, it was because in New Orleans of that era, I had Paris in my own backyard." Isn't that lovely? Sometimes life is simple and beautiful. In the Quarter, we were surrounded by young writers and artists, all finding their voices, discovering their muses. It was the American Renaissance. My dear friend Bill Spratling was part of that group, as was Bill Faulkner. The artists and writers were flourishing, and
Sherwood Anderson enters carrying 2 books. He approaches Elizabeth, a pompous bear of a man.
Sherwood, what are you doing here? I don't recall inviting you.
Did you invite all of those people?
Did you want something? Oh, are those for me? I have read all your work.
They are for your library. I believe that you would appreciate them.
I see. It has been decades, Sherwood. Why are you really here?
Elizabeth, did you ever wonder why
No, I knew why. I had no need to wonder.
Well, our time in the Quarter was magnificent, wasn't it?
Of course it was. I met some wonderful people and made lifelong friendships. But also during that time, I acted as your secretary and proofreader. My role as a bit player in your life never stopped. Even in Virginia, I was oppressed. Not until I arrived in Mexico without you did I discover who I was and what I could do.
You mistakenly thought I blamed and punished you for my fallow months and years. You have no idea what it's like to slowly slide into a cesspool of depression, to have the stench and blackness close in around you, the self-doubt, the fear.
Oh, but I do. I witnessed it, experienced it from the outside, and my efforts at rescue were unwelcome.
Miss Elizabeth.
What is that? Why does he come? To taunt me? Criticize me?
Sherwood, don't be like that. You two were friends.
You are mistaken on that account. You and he were friends. One of your lifelong friends. I see. And on that, I did wonder.
Yes, you would have.
Miss Elizabeth, darling.
Bill Spratling? Oh, well, I do declare, Mr. Spratling, is that really you?
It is. I heard my name not in vain, I trust, and decided to drop in and surprise you.
You did surprise me, Bill, even with that silly accent. It's a wonderful surprise and never in vain.
Why, I do declare, Miss Elizabeth, you have a great future on the theatrical stage. Shall I refresh your drink and pour one for me?
Yes, thank you.
Was that Sherwood I ran off?
He was as unexpected as you, but I'm thrilled to see you. Your bracelet is beautiful, one of your finest designs.
Thank you. It's one of my favorites.
I was just reminiscing about the quarter.
Bill Faulkner and I loved our time there with you and Sherwood and everyone. All the parties, your wonderful patio, the amazing people. We all drew to Sherwood like moths to a dazzling flame. I can still see the grand old man holding court, espousing ideas, telling tales, with us novices in rapt attention. He was the storyteller oracle, but you, my dear Elizabeth, were the quiet priestess of the temple.
Oh, I shall be quiet no more, Bill. He thrived on adoration. It kept his flame bright and high, convincing people with his bull and bluster that he was responsible for the cultural awakening in New Orleans. The truth is that you were the catalyst, Bill, not Sherwood. He knew that and was jealous of you for it.
Jealousy. It does explain many things. For instance, his immediate distaste for the little book my roommate and I put together, Sherwood Anderson and Other Famous Creoles. I drew the caricatures and Faulkner wrote the introduction, parodying his style. It was sort of a private joke.
I thought it was a loving tribute. The ink barely dry and you two racing over to present him an autographed copy.
He didn't see it as a tribute. He frowned and said, "I don't think it's very funny." Bill worried that we hurt his feelings.
Oh, you probably did. He saw you two as usurpers of his brilliant flame. Oh, let's talk about something more interesting.
Let's. Oh, this is as delicious as I remember. It was even better during Prohibition.
That word had no meaning in New Orleans. Liquor flowed like the Mississippi. We could have anything we wanted, anytime we wanted, absinthe being the most desired.
Because it was the most wonderful. To us, Prohibition was a personal affront.
Hear, hear. And we had a moral duty to undermine it.
After my bootlegger was killed, his widow brought me 10 jugs of absinthe she didn't know what to do with. I helped her out and took them all.
I might have known. If I have Bill Spratling here, then Bill Faulkner won't be far behind.
Oh, you know what they say, one good bill deserves another, as long as it's not a counterfeit.
I am the genuine article, sir, I assure you. I heard you two talking about me, so I thought I would come along and join your little party. And might I say, Miss Elizabeth, darling, you are looking as pretty as Karime Rose in the plantation's garden.
Why, thank you, Bill. Where are you? Come on in. We'll pull up a chair and pour you a drink.
I thank you, ma'am. There is nothing I would like to do more.
Then come on in, old man. What's keeping you?
Well, I'm trying to join you, but cannot seem to escape Miss Elizabeth's bookcase.
You what? What on earth? Stuck in my bookcase.
I, I I seem to be trapped for some damn reason. And all these volumes, all these heavy, dusty old tomes, some of them mine. I am just not able to push through. It's very strange.
Be afraid, old man.
Afraid? I see no rifle-toting hunter, sir. No bear. Nothing in this bookcase is gonna hurt me.
Oh, your 1,287 word sentence in Absalom, Absalom could wrap around you like a great snake, choking the life out of you. Or maybe there's an old leather-bound collection of literary criticism hiding in there with you.
Critics. Huh. In my Nobel Prize acceptance speech, I declined to accept the end of man. He is immortal because he has a soul, a spirit capable of compassion, sacrifice, and endurance. Now, here I am, living proof. Well, not living in the strict sense of being alive. If I could just push through, damn, I will say, for the record, that no live or dead man is very much better than any other live or dead man. And the reason for living is to get ready to stay dead for a long time. But the past is never dead, not even past.
Bill, he's quoting himself. You're quoting yourself, Bill.
Miss Elizabeth, if I am going to quote somebody, I shall quote me, as I am my best authority. It surely does look like I will not be joining your party after all.
That's a shame, Bill. We'd love to see you. I suppose I shall be required to do your drinking for you, though in that sport I am but an amateur to your prowess.
You flatter me, sir.
Who remembers La Balle des Artistes? I came as an Arab with a beard and turban.
And Bill, what was your costume?
I do not recollect. Probably a starving rider.
You didn't enjoy yourself, did you?
That night, there was not enough liquor in all the quarter to coerce me into enjoying myself.
Sir, that was the night that President Wilson sent G-men into the bars and clubs to confiscate the liquor. As they were leaving the newly dry town, a bunch of bohemians caught up with the caravan chased down that last truck. They threw the feds out, captured the liquor, and brought it all back to our party.
As I said, not enough liquor in all the quarter. To understand the world, you must first understand that civilization begins with distillation. Oh, what's this? Miss Elizabeth? Oh,
Bill, are you?
Miss, I think, well, I think I'm leaving. Well, I guess I am on my way.
Oh, I guess he's gone. Just like that.
It does seem rather poetic we should part whilst talking about liquor. You know, my dear, I was just passing through too. I expect I'd better be going before I vanish like Bill.
I wish you could stay.
I wish so too, but I think I had better not.
Okay, then, if you must. Good night, Bill.
Good night, Miss Elizabeth. Mexico?
Mexico. Everyone is leaving. Sherwood and I left the corridor in 1926, settling in Virginia. We built a house. Ripshin was called. His moods became darker. They lasted longer. I began to feel that he hated me, if he felt anything at all for me. For him, I did not exist, but did exist, only to drive him deeper into his darkness.
Why do you waste your time with the two Bills?
Oh, you've returned. I enjoy their company. And here, time is not of the essence. Now there is something only you know that I should like to know, something you never spoke of.
Yes. And what is that?
Why you tried to kill me by deliberately running our car off the road and down an embankment?
Because I wished it to be over. It was not just for you, but for us. I wished it to be over. If you had not gone west to visit your mother, I expect I should have tried something else.
I never gave you the opportunity. While at my mother's, I received your letter. I expected the usual garrulous volume of triviality and was surprised to find only one piece of paper on which you had neatly printed 8 words. I just wish you would not come back. 8, not 80 or 800. 8. Very unlike you, Sherwood.
Well, I made my point economically.
I burned your letters. I burned your photographs. I threw my wedding ring into the trash can. The wedding ring that I had purchased. Oh, I granted your wish. I did not come back. I lived the remainder of my 92 years in Tasco, Mexico, with my lifelong friends. There, I had my own renaissance and became a successful designer of couture fashion for the well-heeled American tourist. Sherwood, your 8 words had one unforeseen, unintended consequence. They saved my life.
Well, once again, Elizabeth, you are mistaken. You do not seem to understand.
Oh, I understand. I understand, Sherwood. But you never will.